The King and Queen of the Ring tournament brackets have been revealed. Let's break it down. But before we do, I gotta ask, why is Liv Morgan in this at all? She's literally the world champion. So unless they have something up their sleeve to do a championship unification match, I do not see the reason why she's in there. Is the world title scene on Raw that bad that they have no other person to put on there besides the world champion themselves? But let's give our predictions. I think it's very clearly going to be Io. I don't see any other person winning it. But let's do the brackets anyway. Starting with match number 1, Liv versus Becky versus Alexa versus Chelsea Green. Liv is most likely going to be attacked by Stephanie at some point. I could see Becky winning it, but I don't see the reason for it to be a whole tournament to do that. She can just ask for a world title opportunity, especially you have nobody else on Raw. So I don't see Becky winning it. Alexa would be very interesting, but I think they're better choices. Chelsea Green, I think she's a better fit for Money in the Bank than Queen of the Ring. So moving on, I guess I'm gonna say Becky, sure, because you can do something very interesting in a minute. Speaking of, so Ruka, she just won the IC title. I don't see it. Lyra, no. So between Charlotte and Jade just lost 2 title opportunities. I don't see her being in another one, so I do think she'll be eliminated. So Flair moves on. Becky versus Charlotte, that's very interesting. That's actually something you can, build up to a little bit. I do think you have Charlotte win. I see, why not? Moving on to the top right, Roxanne, Io, Julia, Last Legend. Now, Last Legend would be very interesting. I would not mind her winning it at all, but you have Io right there. She's not losing in the first round. She isn't. So Io's moving on. Then we have Bayley, Raquel, JC Jane, Kiana James. It's probably going to be JC Jane. They're really building her up over on SmackDown. So yeah, it's going to be Io versus JC Jane. Io is winning. Charlotte Flair versus Io. It's going to be Io. She's always going to win it. There's no other bigger opportunity there. Gonna run back Rhea versus Io part 3, 4, whatever you want to number it. I don't really know. It's too big of a match to pass up. They're doing it. Okay, Io's winning Queen of the Ring. Now moving on to the men's, there are 3 possible options. The Bloodline option, Oba option, and then Braun versus Seth. Now we can eliminate the Bloodline one because 1, I don't see Solo winning King of the Ring. I don't see that happening. And 2, they very clearly have something set up between the Bloodline and the MFTs. Tag match, 1-on-1, I don't know, but they very clearly have something planned, and why waste a whole tournament just to get there? I don't see that happening. So Solo, respectfully, you're gone. So between Oba and the Braun versus Seth option, Oba is very questionable, right? Because you have the whole Brock situation. They're very clearly going to have a third match. Now, when? I don't know. Whether it's a Night of Champions, SummerSlam, Survivor Series, Royal Rumble, WrestleMania next year, I don't know. But it's very clearly going to happen. So with that kind of being up in the air, I personally think they're going to have that third match at SummerSlam. And it wouldn't really work because he's King of the Ring having a world title opportunity at SummerSlam. So kind of conflicting. So unless you have him do double duty, which kind of makes sense for him to do, but like kind of not. I don't see them doing that. So Oba unfortunately will be eliminated. So that leaves the Braun versus Seth option. Obviously, you have to get to the finals first. They very clearly have a storyline between Seth and the Street Profits versus Braun and the Vision. They very clearly have something going on there. And what's a better way to crescendo that and finish that storyline between those two at Night of Champions for a world title opportunity? And there you go. So my prediction, either Braun or Seth. Now between those two, who should win? So if you remember, the original plans for WrestleMania 42 was Seth versus Roman for the world title. That was the original plan, but Seth got hurt. They got CM Punk versus Roman, which being a match. So this could be the opportunity to run it officially at SummerSlam and go from there, right? From WrestleMania to SummerSlam. They clearly want to do that match. What's a better way to do that? And then you have the other option, Braun Breaker. Now, I don't know if you remember, there was a report like a while ago that viewed Roman Reigns versus Braun Breaker as this big WrestleMania main event level match. And obviously, WrestleMania is no time soon, but you have SummerSlam right there. And SummerSlam is nowadays not too far off from WrestleMania. So you can do it there. So there would be opportunity to crown a new world champion there, right? Have that big match at SummerSlam, have Braun win or lose, because you can still lose, and have him just be in that main event territory. It makes sense. The whole storyline between Seth and Braun is Seth saying, yo, you're not ready. Okay, you spun off of me and got rid of me, but you're not ready. That's the whole storyline. And what's a better way to finish that storyline by saying, yeah, I'm ready. I won the world championship. So what? So it makes sense. Now, whether he wins at SummerSlam or not, that's a whole video for a different day. But in terms of King of the Ring, I do think Braun Breaker wins King of the Ring. So my winners, Braun Breaker for the men's, Io Sky for the women's. Let me know your thoughts. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Let me know in the comments, and while you're down there, like and subscribe and hit that notification button for more wrestling videos. This is Eli signing out.